Howdy folks, today we're checking out the Benson Amplification Stonk box. This is Chris Benson's take on the classic 3-transistor fuzz from England in the 1960s, from the London 1960s fuzz that had 3 transistors. The Tone Bender, or also the Zonk machine, is kind of similar as well. They're both made in London. Kind of pays homage to those classic fuzzes by this kind of cool hammer finish on the case. I'll do a big old super zoom in on that bad boy so you can see it. It adds a bunch of great things and modern features. For one, Chris Benson is kind of a genius, and he devised this heating circuit that basically, as when the bias starts to shift on the germanium transistors, these resistors start heating them back up to bring them up to a certain temperature, or to change the bias back. And then when the bias gets correct, then the resistors are not heating. There's not as much current going through them. So it's really great. It's the self-heating circuit, heats the transistors up to like 105 degrees Celsius or something like that. And then that way it keeps the sound consistent, because germanium is really unstable for temperature with temperature. So it has 4 controls, which is a little bit different than the old school 2-knob fuzzes. So you have volume right here and tone. So volume and trim, which are more like the original would have had an attack and a volume. So it's kind of like volume and fuzz. And then they add this tone control, which is kind of this nice low pass filter. Basically just rolls off the top end, it rolls off the fizz and just smooths it way out. And then you have this filter control. The filter control adjusts the gain of the first transistor stage as well as its bias. It's powered by a 9-volt DC center negative power only. No batteries in this one. Because of the heating circuit, it would not make the batteries very happy. And we have top-mounted jacks as well, and a foot switch mounted over here on the side. It's true bypass, all that good stuff. You have a 2-color LED that changes, so when the pedal is in heating mode, that LED will be amber, and then it will be green when it is just hanging out, when it's not heating. The pedal is in an enclosure a little bit larger than normal. So if we have a standard 125B Hammond enclosure right here, you can see it's a little bit shorter this way, but it's the same depth this way, and then it's kind of, got that type of a thing going on that way. So it's a little bit, it's the same depth if you turn it sideways. Now, Benson does make amps. They make the Monarch, the Chimera, the Earhart, the Nathan Jr., the Vinny. They make a whole bunch of other amps as well right now that are really great. Their preamp pedal is pretty popular. It's an overdrive pedal based on the Chimera. And they also have a germanium fuzz face type pedal, very similar to this, that came out before this one. So, and then a germanium treble boost. I don't know if it's more treble or just boost. Anyways, let's check this pedal out. I've found it to be extremely fun, and I can't wait for you to hear it. So let's go. Alrighty. So that was some absolutely ferocious sounds that we got from the Benson Stonk box. So thanks for checking out the video. Again, please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit subscribe to see more videos like this. I think the amount of control this thing offers is really great. Now, I've never played a Mark I tone bender, so I can't really comment on that. How it compares to that, but it is based on that circuit with deviations, of course. It has 2 extra knobs, and those really open up the flexibility, right? And I think that really is one of the strengths of this pedal, is it's not a one-trick pony, even though they could have easily made a temperature-controlled one-trick pony. They didn't. So I love the trim, the filter, and the tone controls, because between the 3, you can really dial up anything you want. There's so many textures. And I love the germanium sound. It just has this kind of ripping, even order harmonic kind of thing to it. It's you can hear tiny little bits of an Octavia octave up fuzz in there, and it's just so tantalizing and so much fun to play. Now, it's been fun making this video to kind of hear some of the different textures this pedal has to offer. So let me know what kind of projects you're recording with this. I did put it on the new Makeshift Casual single I'm recording, shameless plug. Check us out on Spotify. One of the things I really like is how well it cleans up. It does clean up super well. So let's get into some negatives. So one negative is that it doesn't like being after a buffer, and this is probably no surprise to anyone, is that when you place it after a buffer, the sound changes. Now, the nice thing is that if you keep the filter, if you keep the trim and the filter controls at noon or below, the nice thing is that the pedal actually doesn't get that high pitch sound that's really awful that you get from fuzz pedals when you put them after a buffer. But if you turn up if you want to go for the higher gain sounds, it will definitely make some more high pitched terrible noises. That's also with the tone control turned up. So yeah, if you turn up these 3 knobs, you will get some high pitched horribleness, kind of typical after buffer fuzz things. But it still cleans up when it's after a buffer, so if you don't mind doing lower gain tones, you can stick it after a buffer if you want. I think I'm going to have to rearrange my pedal board to fit this on, so that's kind of a one consideration to have. I don't think it's necessarily a fault of Chris Benson that it doesn't like being after a buffer. That's kind of comes with the territory for a lot of 2 and 3 transistor fuzzes. Big muffs are different. I think the enclosure size is a bit large, but I really don't mind it, and a lot of old fuzzes are big, so it's not really the end of the world for me. I like that it takes a normal amount of power, which is nice, and I certainly don't mind that it just takes normal 9-volt power, only 100 milliamps, all of that stuff. I like the jacks, and the form factor is kind of fun. It's just a little bit different, this enclosure, so you can orient it like this for easy switching, or you could turn it like this as well. All right, so all in all, I think, like, you know, despite a few minor things, this pedal really is well built and well made, and I think it's worth your time and your consideration. I think, you know, for anyone out there who's like, oh, it's too expensive, I can't handle it, just try to buy germanium transistors out there. And it's a mess. It stinks. So, you know, I have to say, you know, I think after trying to build one, I think I respect the price a lot more on germanium transistor devices. I think the price is justifiable for this, especially when it's such a beautiful enclosure and such a really cool technology inside of, you know, and it's not that complex, but it is awesome that they managed to fix a problem that a lot of fuzzes have had for a long time. It just shows that, you know, that Chris is a mad genius scientist, man. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you, you know, want to hear more of my annoying voice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And comment down below what you think of this pedal. If you think it's great, let me know. If you think it's terrible, let me know. If you hate my guts, I guess you'll let me know. Anyways, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.